Occurrences problem on Leetcode, and I'll just run it to show it works first of all. Okay, see, it works. And yeah, so the problem reads: given an array of integers R, write a function that returns true if and only if the number of occurrences of each value in the array is unique. So what this problem is saying is that you're going to have values in an array, as you can see here, and you can have multiple numbers of the same numbers in that array. And so if the occurrence of each number is unique, then you return true, else false. So for example, in this 1, 2, 3, there's 3 ones, there's 2 2s, and there's 1 3. So each of those numbers occur a unique amount of times, so you return a true. And in this, there's 1 1 and 1 2, so you return a false, because there's 1 1 and there's 2 1, and so their occurrence is not unique. And that's basically just the gist of the problem. So the first thing I thought of when I saw this problem, so let me just go onto this page so you can see my explanation. So the first thought that came to my head was a hash map and a hash set. So a way to store that, so what you want to keep track of is the amount of times each number occurs, and the best way to do that is a hash map. And so what you will do is, if you see a number, you add that to the hash map, and each time that number occurs again, you increment the hash map. So if you add 1 to the hash map, so the key of the hash map will be the number, and the value will just be it will start at 0, and you're gonna check, and you're gonna, if the number that you're at isn't in the hash map, you add that number to the hash map, and each time you add that number to the hash map, you increment it by 1. So, and that's how you're gonna count the amount of occurrences. So so for example, you're at 1, okay, that's not in the hash map. So what you're gonna do is you're going to add that to the hash map and increment the count to 1. 2, that's not in the hash map, so you're gonna increment it to 1. 2, that exists in the hash maps. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna increment the counter of that. So once you get all of that, what you want to do is loop through. What you want to do is so what's the next step? So what you're gonna do is loop through the hash map values. So sorry, let me go to the next page. Sorry. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna loop through each of the numbers, store them in the hash map, and this function right here carries out the entire steps. What you want to then do is loop through the keys in the hash map. So what you're gonna do is, so what the key in the hash map is each of the numbers. So 1 2 3. So for example, in the first example, there's 3 1s, there's 2 2s, and there's 1 3. So this is how a hash map basically looks. That's the key, that's the value, that's the key, that's the value, that's the key, that's the value. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna loop through each key, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get the value of each key. So you're gonna do map.getKey. And what I did was I created a hash set. So what a hash set does is it can only store unique values. So for example, let's say you're looping through, you're getting the value of 1. You're getting the value of 1. That's gonna equals to a 3. And then what you're gonna do is that you're gonna add that 3 to the hash set. And since a hash set can only contain unique values, if let's say 2 was a 3 in a hypothetical example, it would not add that 3 to the array. So it would not add that 3 to the hash set, because a hash set cannot have duplicates. So that's why I have a not here. So if the set doesn't add a value of a key, then return false, because that means there's a duplicate. And the entire process is going to continue to loop and repeat, and if false isn't returned, then a true is going to be returned at the end of the program. And that's basically how I went through the problem. And if, yeah, like if you have any questions, you can just comment, and yeah, I mean, yeah. So yeah, that's how you solve the problem, and I hope that was helpful.